Okay, for those of you here for the tutorial, I'm going to try and keep this little intro bit short and sweet so you guys can get that as soon as possible, but there are a few things I want to say. First of all, apologies for taking so long to get this video out. I've been meaning to record this video since last Saturday. For those of you watching in the future, it is currently Friday. I've been really busy with schoolwork and whatnot, so I have been really concerned about taking too long to upload this. And then the reason why I'm doing this is because a while back on the channel I made a video that was a dragon head tutorial, and it has recently become my most viewed video on my channel ever, at about 1.3 thousand views, which is pretty crazy. But if I'm being honest, I don't really like the way that that one is set up and recorded and everything. So I'm going to do another one, and hopefully I'm going to be doing just one dragon head, and hopefully that'll give me more time to be able to elaborate and talk about what I'm doing more. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I've tried to keep it fast. Let's get into the tutorial. Okay, so just jumping straight in here, the first thing that I always do when it comes to drawing a dragon head is doing the horns first. And I don't know really why, but that's just what I've always started with, and that's kind of what I've just stuck with over the years. And I don't know, it just always makes it feel easier for me to get the rest of the body shape and stuff down. So what I'm going to do for the horns is I'm going to do a kind of curve it up and stuff just a little bit. I like the kind of curvy style horns, and obviously you guys can do whatever shape you want. I don't think it really matters, but the main thing you want to do when drawing the horns, if you struggle with that, is making sure you get your shape done, and then the best way I can think of describing it is doing the exact same shape going all the way back down at a slight angle. And I mean, yeah, that's basically the best way I can think of describing it. You're basically just following the same basic path and going at a little bit more of an angle going down. And I mean, that's pretty much all there is to it. And then for this head, for this specific dragon head, we're going to be giving it several horns going around the side of its head. And so I'm going to kind of, and it doesn't really matter, of course, again, what shape you do, the secondary and tertiary horns, but I'm going to do the basic same shape for the secondary horns at the bottom, or underneath, with the kind of zigzaggy line, and obviously you're following the same basic process as the main one that you just did. And so got kind of the, I guess, lightning bolt or S shape going there, and that's pretty cool in my opinion. And obviously, yeah, you guys can do, again, whatever shape you want. It doesn't really matter. You make it how you want. And then for the third horn at the bottom, I'm just going to go completely straight. So you're basically just drawing a triangle, but leaving out the little bottom bit there. So just draw that in like so, and we're going to give it a little curve coming out of the end and curving inwards towards what will be the head. And then you're going to go back up to the top here on the top horn and follow this line from the initial little line that you did there previously, and you're going to follow that down and kind of give it a little curve downwards eventually. Keep a fairly straight line, and then kind of curve it down just a tad. whenever you see fit. I like this approximate distance here, and then what we're going to do is then now pull another straight line out of it like so, give it just a little bit of overlap there, and that kind of adds to kind of like a three-dimensional, more three-dimensional look, I guess. And then we're going to bring up the snout here just a tiny bit and kind of make it a little bit more curvy, less of a actual horn and more of just like a nose. And then bring it all the way down like so, and then we're going to curve it up and make it kind of like a beak. Make this end sharper in order for it to look more like a beak and stuff. And I will do this dragon with an open mouth, that way we can get some teeth in there. But we're going to do another little sharp bit like this, and that kind of gives it more of a menacing look. And yeah, you're gonna follow a sort of straight line. And what I'm gonna do for mine, and you guys can do whatever you want, a lot of drawing a dragon is obviously based on just your personal creativity. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to give it kind of like a battle scar and kind of like make it look like its beak, or the skin on the side of its face got kind of like chipped away, or I don't really know the best term to use, but just kind of like torn away or chipped away or whatever. I don't really know if it's a beak or if it's like flesh based or whatever. So I'm gonna kind of do one of those and kind of have like a little three-pronged or three-pointed scar across his mouth, I guess. And then we'll make him frown. So we're gonna bring his mouth up to make it look like he's gonna smile, but then bring it straight back down, and that kind of gives a little bit more of a angry, you know, snarly look. And I'm gonna erase here, and this is obviously just my personal preference, but to give him more of an angry, snarly look, we're going to kind of do some overlapping basic shapes. It's like an upside down L of some sort, and just kind of overlap them like so, and it makes him kind of look, you can see like when I do that, if you're looking up at me, my nose is kind of like wrinkling up and right in this area, and so that's kind of mimicking that. And we're going to bring down the bottom jaw now and make it kind of follow the shape of the top of his face, just to make it kind of look more like it would fit together like puzzle pieces almost when he closes his mouth. But obviously you don't have to be perfect, because his top jaw would probably overlap his bottom jaw just a little bit, but try to make it follow about the same path. So you're gonna have like a little dip there, and then bring this up into like another beak like thing right here. And we're gonna make his bottom jaw thin, but he's gonna have like a bigger chin area here, and so we're gonna pull that, kind of curve it a little bit more than the beak area here, and then curve it like almost like a almost like a very, very long R, and then curve it straight back up like so. So you've got kind of like a wavy line going like that, and then bring it coming out with another little upward curve there. And that's going to form the bottom of his jaw, and then we're going to start adding in a few more details now. And obviously you can really do this in whatever order you want, but this is just kind of like my basic, I'm showing you like the way of drawing the basic shape first, and then The and then adding in the details, I would probably get distracted and start adding in the details before I finish the head, but it doesn't really matter. So the first thing we're going to do is make his head look more 3D, and the way we're going to do that first is adding like the horns on the other side of his head, kind of make it to where we can see it. So obviously most of the secondary and third horns would be covered up by his neck, which would be coming out of the back like so, and I'm not really going to draw any detail on there. I'm just showing you guys what that would kind of look like. So his neck would be coming out like so, and you wouldn't be able to see his secondary or third horns, but this main top horn would be kind of poking out, and if his head is at an angle, obviously you'd be able to see it. So what you're going to do is you're going to follow the kind of same shape again, but make it smaller and again at a different angle, and follow the same basic process as you always do with drawing a horn. And yeah, that just kind of makes it look like his other horn from the other side of his head is showing. And then we're going to draw a brow, almost like an eyebrow, and we're going to basically, you're just following this line here that you did for the top of his head, and following it, and make it a little bit lighter so it doesn't look as as prominent as the lines going around his head. And then we're going to draw his eye, and we're going to make it kind of small, just right underneath that brow at the very front, and draw a little pupil in there if you want to, doesn't really matter, and draw a few curved lines in there to kind of give it some more form. And then we're going to draw his nostril because he needs that to breathe, and give it a little bit of shape. I don't think the shape really matters, but yeah. And then we're going to do one of the most I guess personal. I guess the one that's up to the most personal preference. A lot of times I didn't do this before, but I've started doing it more now, is drawing in the actual skull indents in his face. And so if you've ever seen a dinosaur skull before, which you probably have, you know that they've got like the area for their eyes, a strange area in like the middle of their face. I don't really know what that one's for, and then one for their nose. And so what we're going to be doing is drawing super light lines, going almost circling the entire eye, circling the entire nose or nostril, and then one right in the middle of the head. And that kind of, make sure they're super light though, so they don't look like, if you make them super dark, it won't look as good. It won't look as detailed as if it were light, because you can't really see it very well if you were to just be looking at it. It has to be like in the right light or something. And I apologize for my voice. My voice is kind of getting a little bit, throat's getting a little bit dry. But so now that we've got that in there, we're going to be drawing kind of like the fleshy bit on the inside of the jaw right there. Humans don't really have that, but with dinosaurs, if you've ever looked at dinosaurs before, I guess like proposed pictures of what the dinosaurs kind of would look like with skin and stuff, you know that they've got like that weird fleshy muscular thing that kind of stops their jaw from going all the way open or something. But basically the way you do that is just very slight curved line right there, and then add a few lines in the middle to just kind of give it a little bit of texture. And then you can draw some, if you want, draw some curved lines on the horns, give them a little bit of form, but that's optional. Obviously, you don't have to. And then going to add his teeth and make them as sharp, dull, or whatever as you want. Obviously, you can make the snout as short and stubby or long as you want. And with the teeth, I like to make the ones at the front, on the bottom and top, larger and more defined, I guess, than the ones at the back, but that is obviously personal preference. And with that, I won't make you sit through my entire tooth drawing process, but try to make them all kind of facing weird, crooked directions. And yeah, make them just look as weird, gnarly as you want. And once you're done with the teeth, you can draw in his tongue, which is just kind of wavy line that ends in a little point. And feel free to draw in the second tip or the second point, since it's a forked tongue, if you want. And with that, I'm going to finish out the teeth off camera because that takes a little bit, and it would just be kind of boring to watch. But that's basically how you draw a dragon head. So I'll hit you with the outro, show you the teeth finished, and yeah, I think we'll be out of here. So I'll see you in a minute. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my process of drawing a dragon's head. I really hope this helped you guys if you were struggling at all with the kind of process of doing so, and helped you guys kind of get some detailing ideas or whatever. If this helped you in any way, then I would really appreciate a like on the video, and you can let me know what was helpful, so I can know what to do for other tutorial videos in the future. And obviously, if you thought this was unhelpful or just flat out wrong or something, then please do feel free to leave a dislike. It will not hurt my feelings. And also feel free to let me know what you didn't like about it or you think I could improve for the future. So with that, I'm going to be out of here. This video is way too long as it is. So subscribe if you haven't, leave a like on the video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.